I have a 2022 Ford Explorer ST. Whenever I'm driving around, it makes a squeaking sound whenever I articulate over small bumps or going in and out of entrances to a parking lot or something like that. I have a little squeak that I can tell is coming from the back left corner back here somewhere, and it sounds like this. It's been gradually getting worse, and it's time to dig into this and figure out where it's coming from. All right, I got the noise to stop. Not 100% sure the exact cause of it, but once I got this tore apart, these two child seat latch locations here, one there and one here on the left side, and there's the same thing on the right side, but it's just the left side that was giving me the noise issue. Whenever I would shake this, move this panel like this back and forth, it would do the squeaking. Now it's not doing it. Well, all I did was I was going to take this whole panel off, so I removed the screws from each one of these. You just lift up on the D-ring here, that folds up out of the way, and you can take a little trim thing and just click this little cap open. It just pops up like that. It just snaps real easy. And underneath there, you'll see one screw. And that screw is a 5/16. All I did was I backed these two screws all the way completely out, but they do not come out from the panel. There's a clip in behind holding them on. So they'll come loose, but they won't come all the way out. So that's all the way out right there. You can see the panel move, but the screw won't come out. All I did was unscrew both of them all the way out like this, and then screw them all the way back in. Nice and tight and secure. I wiggle the panel. It doesn't make the sound anymore. You just push these lids back down to close them. So I don't know if there was some sort of connection rubbing or some sort of part rubbing up in behind here that was causing this panel to squeak. And unscrewing those maybe gave it enough room in the back to, readjust or something. Screwing them back together, no sound, which is awesome. But another thing I kind of noticed, I'm going to try to use the mirror here, because it's very hard to see. So if you'll look back here, up inside of here, this is where the back, right here, the back D-ring mount screws to the metal bracket in here. I was moving this back and forth, the whole thing, and this screw felt just a little bit loose, like this whole bracket was moving. So I just tightened that up a little bit. That was after I resolved the noise issue, so I know it wasn't that screw, but that screw all the way back in there on that mount up in here. You'll need, it's a 10 millimeter, but you'll need a deep socket to fit over top of it, because it's like that nut has like part of the bolt comes out the head of it. So to get all the way on there, you'll need a deep well 10 millimeter socket. So now I'm going to put it all back together, and hopefully that noise is fixed. This is just the reverse of taking the trim panels off. I didn't start recording at the beginning to show removal of the panels, but maybe I can show the reinstallation, and you'll know that this is the backwards version. So the panels come apart. They're layered here where they go on top of each other, as you put them in. They're kind of interlocking. Like over here, you can see that, you know, this piece goes in here and it comes up over top of this lip. So that hooks together, and then when the flat piece goes in, it goes over top of this. So I had to remove all of this piece by piece in order to get into this section here. But this long piece that goes all the way up to just past the cup holder there, you can see there's two clip holes, a single clip hole, and then you have the ones along the panel edge back here. So on the reverse side of this piece, these bright orange markers help identify. There's the first two clips, second two, the single one, and then the three singles that go along the side here, and then one in the back, which goes into that spot right there. One thing I forgot to mention, as you're putting this side trim piece back in, you may notice this little yellow round push pin that goes in this little slot right here. And what it does is it snaps down into the body here to keep this from bottom from wiggling or lifting up. So as you pull it out, you flip it over, you see there's two spots here. One towards the front, one in the back. The front one didn't have anything in it, nor is there a hole for it to go into. So it's just the back one right here. So we'll take this, and we're just gonna slide it in under the top like this, slide it straight back, and it should click into place. Just like that. So now, we're gonna set this down in here. That yellow pin will go down in that hole and snap together. So, and then these three knobs are just aligning mechanisms that go into those three holes right there. Just help line it up down through there. Whenever I pull this panel off, popping up on these trim pieces to lift them out, the little bright orange things come off of it. One landed back in here, and one fell down here on the spare tire. So these come off, and they may come off on you whenever you're popping the panel off, but they simply just slide right back on. Let's see if I can just pull one off real quick and show you. It's just a very little bit of, you'll notice when I pulled it out, this was laying over here, and that didn't have one on it. So you just take the part, see if I can get it to focus here, and you'll notice that's just a simple little clip. It looks the same on both sides. See if I can show it out here in the light. Looks the same on both sides. All you do is just take it, and you just want to snap it back up on there. Just push it all the way on. So whenever you reinstall the panel, they will snap back into the holes appropriately. So let's come around up here. So up here on the front edge, we'll go ahead and get these lined up. You have that one aligning pin, and you have the orange clamp. We'll just start snapping it in down through there and making sure that this is tucked in underneath. There's the first one. There's the next two. We just keep going back through there like that. Have to get it down in here first to kind of take some of the tension off of being twisted a little bit. Now that we've started snapping it in up through there, can see a little gap right here. You know, just make sure your connectors are snapped all the way. Pay close attention when you're putting this side panel back on, that you get that tab right there. See that tab? It should be in behind this piece, not stuck out in front of it. So I need to pull it back up and get it back down over top of that. You can see the tab piece there now. I want to make sure that goes in. And this other trim piece comes out in front of it. Which is not as easy as it may seem. There, see there? Now you can see that the tab piece is in behind, and it should fasten all the way up properly. All right, that's in all the way back, completely seated, as you can see there. Still not making the squeaking sound, so we're good. So now that I have that piece in, now I can put this trim piece across the back here, back on, right here. So with this piece, it'll go just like this. And it has one connector. This connector right here plugs into that. That's for the back hatch, so it knows it's shut. That'll come up here and plug in as you're snapping this in. So same thing here. You got a push fastener here, which goes in down here. And another one on this side, which goes into this vertical slot here. Across the top, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and I broke one of them off trying to get it out. Came out of this hole right here. I guess I was bending too much on the plastic, and the plastic snapped. You can see it's just like a plastic notch sticking out with one of those metal clips slipped up over it. So there's 6 that go across here. First, we'll plug this in. So it clicks, one simple little click. Then we'll turn this over. We're going to set it down on here, and it overlaps right here. Just going to, after you plug the part in, just going to drop it straight down into place here. So we want the top ones to go down first, and then we'll push the 2 in from the bottom. Line up your latch here. So we're just going to push straight down on this and get these 6 to click all the way across. 1, 2, and I have the 1 missing here. 3, 4, that one in the bottom, and then this bottom, push in. So now that that's fully attached all the way across, now we have to take our rubber trim piece here. See how this went on top of the rubber? I had to pull this rubber off of this to get it up the first time. So you can do this simply by hand. Just pull out on the rubber and walk it all the way across like this. Or if you have a trim tool or something like this, put it under the edge and just kind of wiggle it all the way across. and we'll get that piece back underneath there. Not quite as easy as you would think it would be. Just have to finesse it. Probably a little faster by hand, actually. Just keep pulling on it all the way across, little by little. And this little flap right here is spring loaded. You want to make sure that operates freely so your latch will close and not break it. Just like that. Now, these pieces, see, this piece is over top of this piece, and this little shelf right here of it is over top of it as well, and same at the bottom right here. They're layered. It's all good and quiet. The only thing we have left to put back in is this piece right here. It goes over the spare tire cover. All right, now I'm going to put this last piece back in, the spare tire cover. And this part's really simple. On the back edge here, you'll see some fabric material here, and the same thing right here. Right underneath this lip, there's a little piece of hook and loop or Velcro. That just sticks right down on there. So from the top down, you get the front end first. Let me show you how this fuel thing goes in here first. This little fuel filler neck for the capless fuel tank. There's a little holder built right in right here. So you'll just put one end, the open end of the funnel, stick it over top of that piece there, like so. And up here on this end, there's a little bitty notch in the top of the funnel you can see there, and that's just a little plastic piece. You just rest right down in there, just enough to keep it from flopping around, and it rides right there underneath of this cover in case you ever need it. So now we'll take this cover. This has a little bit of insulation on the bottom and two push pins right there. One there, one on that side. Nothing across the top except for those two little Velcro pieces up here over the flap. So we'll just get this bottom edge pushed in here first. Get it flush all the way across. Fold it forward and then just bring it back. Stick it down on there. Press down on either side, and there you have it. There's your spare tire cover. Now that you have it in, you can see that it's flush all the way around. Now we can put the rubber, this big rubber mat, just right back in here on top of it. Push it back, and it just sits in there. That's it. Doesn't fasten to nothing. It just fits all the way around. That's what it looks like. The rubber mat. Then you also have, if you choose to use these little dividers, you got these little dividers that go on either side with a felt liner on the inside. They just drop right down in here like so. One for that side, and I keep one on this side. So you have your little pockets on either side there. That's all there is to it. It's all back together. So the moral of this story is, it turns out that these anchor points were potentially the cause of the problem. So if I'd have known better, I could have just opened these up, run those 2 screws out, and then put them back in, and that would have fixed my squeaking problem. As you can see here, it doesn't squeak anymore. But I did find that one other mounting screw in here a little loose. I was able to tighten up, so it's not a total loss. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.